We begin in Sri Lanka, where we're learning about the possible motivation behind Sunday's deadly bombings.
More than 300 people were killed and another 500 wounded in coordinated attacks on churches and luxury hotels.
We believe the attacks are in retaliation for the mass shootings at New Zealand mosques. We also have learned that some Islamic extremist organizations conducted the attacks.
Earlier, officials said they believe those responsible had help from an international organization. Police say they've arrested 40 people in connection with the explosions. Questions have swirled around how much the government knew and if the attacks could have been prevented. Security forces were reportedly warned earlier this month that a group was planning suicide attacks on churches. Sri Lanka's president has declared a national state of emergency. He has also given the military additional powers in a bid to prevent further attacks. Now joining us live is NHK World's Naoki Makta, who's in Sri Lanka, where the government has declared today a national day of mourning. So Naoki, tell us where you are.
I'm in front of St. Anthony's Church in central Colombo. It's one of the three churches that were attacked. The street is decorated with black and white to pay respect to those who were killed by the attack. Sri Lankans have been observing a national day of mourning, marked by 3 minutes of silence in the morning. I also visited another church in Negombo, a Catholic majority town north of Colombo. Church officials say they cancelled a planned mass for security reasons, but still more than 1,000 people gathered to pray for the victims. I spoke to some worshippers. Here's what they had to say.
It was a very saddening incident, and we really ask God to forgive for those who did this thing to our beloved church, our beloved people. But we pray that something like this never will happen again in this, our beloved country.
We must leave our differences, religious, racial, and political, and work towards eliminating these threats from our country.
So Naoki, security forces reportedly received a warning about 10 days before the attacks, and they were monitoring the group they suspect was behind them. So how is it that the attacks still happen?
The short answer is we still don't know. Sri Lankan investigators say a local Islamic organization allegedly behind the attacks is strongly influenced by Saudi Arabia's Wahhabism movement, a fundamentalist form of Islam. They say the group had about 2,000 members in 2017, but was relatively unknown till now. People are starting to point fingers at the government.
Since they had been informed, and it could have been saved more lives if they had taken proper precautions against it.
What we know is the Prime Minister and the Cabinet had no idea about the warning. They were not briefed on it. And it looks like the root of that goes back to a political crisis last year, when the President dissolved the Parliament and tried to bring in a new Prime Minister. That's all we know for now, but there will no doubt be more details to come on what looks like an intelligence failure.
Thank you, Naoki, and stay safe there.